gosh. Welcome to the making of. This is a behind the scenes podcast series from yours truly, GurlCo Media, where we are breaking down every phase of production for the projects that we created, from conception to completion.
Yes, ma'am. And we are excited to kick off this series with the making of Vera Doyle commercial. One of our favorite collabs. Over the next three, it'll be a three-part series. Then we'll cover development, production, and post. And we will share our creative choices, lessons learned, and of course, always fun facts.
And
Always.
today's episode is all about development and pre-production because these are the two phases where the real foundation gets built.
Hmm.
Um, my name is Annette. I am a co-founder of GurlCo Media. I freelance as an AD and producer, and I have nearly 10 years of experience
Woohoo!
in film and TV.
And I'm Naomi, the other co-founder of GurlCo Media. I'm a creative producer and writer. I've been in the production space for about 5 years, and we wanted to share with you like what GurlCo Media was built predominantly, wholeheartedly to tell bold and authentic stories and to collaborate with small businesses, nonprofits, and other creatives.
Yes, yes. So the making of is
Hmm.
why, right? So, Nay, why the Vera Doyle project? Like,
Why not? But yeah, well, why Vera Doyle? I'll give you three answers. Lori Thompson, Lori Thompson, Lori Thompson. Lori Thompson is the owner and proprietor of Vera Doyle, and um, we met on a random excursion of mine. I just popped into her store and loved it immediately.
Mhm, mhm.
Loved it immediately. And the store it's a curated shop. You could tell she puts her heart and soul into
Yeah,
the offerings of accessories, home decor, gifts, apparel. Like it's just there's so many things she offers. And what made the project exciting for me and for GurlCo Media is because we felt like it's an absolute great fit.
yeah. It's
It's a
like
great fit.
two businesses owned by Black women, right? It's who love creativity, love
Hmm.
people, have a great story.
Yeah.
She's accessible, we're accessible. It was like a great fit. And
And don't forget, Lori's an artist. She is also a
that's right.
creative. Yes.
Yes. Well, I knew she was
Yes.
creative. I mean, the way
Yeah.
that she curates her shop. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, her
She's
window
amazing.
treatments are incredible, incredible.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so that was like a great day for you. That was when you did your artist date, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good
The
looking out,
artist
universe.
way. The
Yep,
artist
good looking
way.
out, universe.
It sent me to Mount Airy, Philadelphia. So
Mount Airy.
Mount Airy. Yeah, yeah. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. So
So,
let's talk more about the collab
okay. Um, I
and
think
this 30-second commercial thing.
well, I think that the what our goals or well,
Yeah.
let's just say as the director of this 30-second commercial, I think what I wanted to do was capture Vera Doyle's unique charm, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and really highlight the curated selections because I think that that's very important. It's nothing that she would just bring this stuff and just stock her shelves, right?
Hmm.
She's very intentional, and
Yeah.
I wanted customers to see that, to entice them with that, so that they would go to this location and explore, its collection of vintage and artisan goods, through warm,
Yeah.
inviting tones. And, you know,
Yeah,
so
I know that we definitely wanted to capture the essence of this of Lori and the
yeah,
essence of her space,
right.
right? It's a very welcoming and open space, but it's also an elevated space,
Hmm.
right? But open to anyone. And I think we really captured that.
Yeah, I mean, it was my hope, and I feel like even within the script,
Hmm.
we were very intentional when we were developing the script. So
Okay.
of course, in the script, um, which is in pre-production, right? There are those words that you want to hit, but we wanted it to be more authentic. And since you wrote the script, it
Hmm.
was like in one of our production meetings, it's yeah, we want to hit these words, but we also want it to be compelling storytelling that evokes emotion.
Definitely, definitely. So let's take a quick step back because I want us to touch on the development phase.
Okay.
Um, Lori's vision, when we're thinking about the creation of this commercial,
Mhm.
Lori's vision was very clear to us, I believe, from the beginning, and
Yeah.
that was to stay true to her brand and her aesthetics, but also understanding that our storytelling is aligned to her brand.
Yeah.
We definitely wanted to make sure that all of us were aligned on what story we wanted to tell and make sure that it fits her
Hmm.
vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk the story arc real quick of this 30-second commercial because you think, well, do you need a story arc for a
Yeah.
30-second
Yeah.
commercial? You do because you're telling a story.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's 30 seconds, right? And I remember one of our production meetings, we're just like, so what do we want to say? Like if somebody comes there, what are
Hmm.
we finding? What are they? And we were like, it was like a 2 hour conversation. And then for you to come back with, the title, Find Your Treasure
Hmm.
at Vera Doyle, it was like, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
what
That's it.
everybody finds when they go there.
Including us.
Yeah.
Because every time I go there, that's exactly, I'm like, my God, Lori, what else are you bringing into the store? I'm always finding something new.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to capture.
Hmm.
It's that feeling of when you come into this space, you're gonna leave
With something.
with
Yeah.
something, and not just something random, but something that touches you, that you
Right.
feel you
Right.
have a connection
Right.
to.
And it's not necessarily even, and this is off topic, but it's not necessarily leaving with a material when you Vera
Yeah.
Doyle, because just the spirit in the energy in there, like
Hmm.
you're leaving with something. Like
Yeah.
you could have been off your center, but you're back on center when you're leaving there,
Literally
right?
every time you walk in
Yeah.
from that first step of opening the door and coming in, I'm telling you, there is a vibe in that place
Mhm.
that is soothing, welcoming, comforting, and you want to spend time there. I've told you and I told Lori many times, if you can just put an office desk in the back for me, I could be there all the time, but I digress. So
Yeah.
let's talk quickly about tone and the look, because
Okay.
that was from, especially from your director's vision.
Yeah. So, I wanted the commercial, the ad to really convey confidence.
Mhm.
Um, and I looked at Lori, um, thought of my own experience there, thought about you. So definitely confidence, beauty, also individuality,
Mm,
which is really big.
yes.
Through intentional visuals, right? And Nick
Our
went
DP.
on a tangent.
I'm going to
Hours upon
capture
hours,
everything.
right?
No, Hours of, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's through those intentional visuals, inviting viewers to explore. And I think
Hmm.
I even wanted that in the beginning, and that's why I was like, we need a drone because I wanted
Mm,
that movement from when the commercial first comes on. It's that you're coming
yes.
in, you're floating in, and that's
You're
what I,
floating into the story.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, Net. When you were just like, yo, drone, drone, here comes the drone. I was like,
Right?
yes, please, let's do this. And then to see it. And even though it's quick because it's a 30-second, you feel you move with it. And
Yeah.
you definitely created that feeling.
Yeah.
So
Kenny is
kudos to
just
you,
awesome.
sis.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Kenny, working with him as the drone operator, and we'll put Kenny's
Oh yes, all the
contact
contacts.
information in there if anybody is looking for a drone in the Philadelphia tri-state area.
Hmm.
But he was amazing to work with and professional. And I gave him a sense of what we were looking for, and he made it happen.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
And finally, in this development, I also want us to touch on storyboard because
Oh,
baby,
shout out Jackson.
give it up to Jackson Burgess, man of all many talents.
Yeah,
He put
yeah,
together a magnificent storyboard. I remember taking it to Lori and showing it to her. And she then showed it to her 16-year-old daughter who was like, I want this. She
mhm.
wanted it so she could frame it.
Yeah. He
She
did.
just loved the way he depicted it,
He
the
did such a
story.
great. Yeah, and
Yeah.
even the part where I was just like, the hand goes like this. The hand goes like this, and he's just like, huh? But he made it
It's
happen.
yep. It's going to caress the fabrics,
The
and he's like,
yumminess. Yeah.
I gotta love the Gen Z. Is he Gen Z? Because he kept it
2000.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
2000.
kept it. Yeah, he
I
kept it
think
real
also
with
he
us, and
kept
we're
it
like,
100 because, I'm his mama. So
Mama.
not necessarily boss 100%.
Yeah. Facts, facts. All right, let's jump into pre-production.
Ah,
Mm.
so development and pre-production, they marry each other, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When you're developing, you're thinking about pre-production. I think for us, you got logistics and location scouting, scheduling. We didn't really have to do location scouting. I think the only thing that I had to really think about was how to tell people where to park, right? Like parking on the street, and
Right.
then, they have the municipal parking.
Yeah.
Um, so handling the logistics for this wasn't all that strenuous for this particular project. Um, you know,
Because we knew it was going to be a 1 day shoot,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
still, they were scheduling, right? Making sure everybody knew when to get there, those kinds of
yeah,
logistics as well. Yeah.
that's true. And locating what's the nearest Wawa for crafty, right? And making sure it was a time that, um, I
Work
think
for Lori.
for Lori, and she was
Hmm.
very helpful because I think that we wanted a call time at like 9, and we
Hmm.
were like,
Hmm.
we cannot. And so she was able to open it up, remember, at
Yes.
7:30,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
accommodate us. So we had that
Yeah.
hour to unload and get crafty set up, get, lighting and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad because it was a 1 day and it's only like four or five.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Mhm.
we didn't and because it was a small crew, small set, which worked in our favor
Yeah.
because we were all able to be in the shop and get all the shots and things like that. Casting, casting. You know what? I know we have spoken in different conversations about how important networking is and staying connected to people you have either met on set or in other
Mhm.
ways, but we were you. kudos again for reaching out to an actress that we worked with on our web series stages,
Whee! Yeah,
Mossy Ryan,
yeah.
for her to like quickly just say, "Yeah, I'll be
Because
available."
it was 4 days before, and
Yeah,
everyone started bailing. They're just like,
yeah,
"Oh, I can't make it. It's a weekday morning. Can't do it. Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry." And I was just like, "Oh, I was on my walk, and Marcy popped in my head. I came
Mm,
back to this office, and I was just like, 'Hey, Marcy, do you think that?'" And she was just,
yeah,
"Where and when?"
yeah.
And she came through. Yeah,
Again, in this world of production, you have to be able to pivot
yeah,
and pivot literally on a dime sometimes. And I know Lori had asked some folks to hopefully participate. And like you said, folks just life happens, and folks were like, I'm not going to be able to make it. And we were given enough time so that you could reach out to Marcy.
yeah.
I also am in the commercial. Wasn't planning on that, but actually it worked really, really well. Same with we the you just have to be flexible in production, because yes, sometimes you an actor doesn't show up that day, and it's like, well, it's two lines. I know you could do it, sis. You can make it work.
Listen, obstacles are opportunities to pivot.
A
And that's
word.
that's all that it is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no way that we were not going to shoot on that day.
Facts.
It- so it was, how do we make this happen?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody being open to those changes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Marcy came in, handled business. You came in, you handled business, and you
Mm-hmm.
look fabulous,
Mm-hmm.
by the way. And everybody was professional and
Mm-hmm.
tight budget, timeline, but still prioritizing quality and professionalism.
Mm.
Those are really important.
Oh, girl. So let's also, I mean, come on. Hair, makeup, I mean, do what you can. That's
Handle
where,
your
yeah,
business.
handle your business. Um, yeah, I think everything just aligned. Everything aligned, and we got it done.
Yeah,
And it was such a wonderful experience.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
And
even
it,
on a tight budget, even on a tight budget,
that part.
we made it work.
Yeah,
We made it work.
yeah. All right. So what are some key lessons that we could share
Mm.
from the development and pre-production phases?
Clarity.
Yes.
Every part,
Yeah.
clarity.
Yeah.
It
You helped
saves
me with that.
time.
You helped me with that a lot because everything is in my head. And although sometimes I get upset because you ask me to stop and pull it out of my head to share it with you, I know that I need to because now you can help me with that,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know?
hmm Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's clarity on planning, expectations. All of that is set from the beginning
Yeah.
so that everybody can move forward and in unison. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. What you
And
got?
communication with the client is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like we did those weekly check-ins. Here, this is
Hmm.
where we are. This is what it's looking like. Let us know your feedback before we even went to the next step. We
You're
always
right.
in with
Yeah.
her, let her know where we were. Also, we didn't start anything until contracts are signed. We learned from,
Right.
documentary, like not moving forward. Because, a lot of people talk, but that signature on that contract protects every single person.
Legit.
Mhm.
Like, this is now a partnership.
Yes.
Let's get this
Yeah.
done.
Yes.
Um, and prepping with intention, right? It
Mhm.
helps even the smallest of teams
Yeah.
move like a big production,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
You're right.
yeah,
I'm so proud of us because it was just so awesome. I mean, we all worked in Morocco together, but I don't take our I don't take our collective work, the way that we work collectively.
Hmm.
I don't take that for granted because
Yeah.
I've been on larger projects where it was choppy and
Yeah.
the vibe wasn't there. But
Yeah.
for us to move the way that we do, like you wouldn't even know that it was a small team.
Right. And let me just also say in this pre-production phase is making sure that, your DP is set, your editor is set, your producers are set, like making sure that the crew
Yeah.
is available,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes they may not be, and you got to pivot and find others. But thankfully, our team is a
Yeah.
blessing.
I'm
A blessing.
I want to piggyback on what you just said,
Hmm.
like in development and pre-production, thinking
Hmm.
about post throughout the whole entire piece, right? And sometimes we can get, because it's a small crew, you don't think about that, but there are some pieces, especially when you wrap for principal to go
Hmm.
into, there's a lot. And we'll cover that there, but
Yeah.
you're right. We really start thinking about post and marketing and development and pre-production. Yeah.
I think that is a sentiment that we need to always make in our making of videos. Just
Yeah.
kind of keep reiterating that,
Yeah.
because especially for indies,
Yeah.
because a lot of the concentration is in that development, pre-production, and then
Principle. It's all
principal,
about principle. Yeah.
right? It's all about
Yeah.
getting it done. And
Yeah.
then it's like,
Yeah.
but what about post?
And then, and then, yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
because marketing and distribution is a whole other thing, but you
What?
also have to plan ahead of time.
What?
Don't wait until the work is done and go,
Yeah.
okay,
Now what?
how we gonna get this out there? So, okay.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So let's talk about episode 2. What's coming up, Net?
So next time, we are going to walk through the shoot day itself. And there were some, but the coffee was hot.
And the muffins were good.
Yeah. So from camera setup to directing talent, which was easy peasy,
Yeah.
and how we made it all happen in just one day. So
Yes.
so stay tuned
Stay
for
tuned.
part two.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
this was,
thank you all.
yeah,
Yes. Yes. Thank you all for hanging with us at our first episode of the making of. Um, if you like what you heard, what you received, please be sure to like and subscribe, follow our channel as we grow, help us grow, and definitely follow so you don't miss a thing.
thing. All right. So until episode two, deuces.